Alright, so it's Tuesday. It is the 15th day of March 2022. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 60 degrees and sunny here, but the fog is rolling in Ventura, California. So you can tell I am still fighting off this silly cold. And as promised, I am going to take a second look at G-Core, the Faserip retro clone by Dilly Green Bean or whatever this company's called. So I looked at this a couple months ago and I gave it a less than favorable review, and a lot of people said give it another look. So I have given it another look, comparing it, of course, to my beloved Faserip. Now, we know that I consider Faserip Marvel one of, if not the best superhero role-playing games. So I looked at this, how close it was to Faserip. Did it really embrace Faserip? And initially I was like, yeah, kind of, but not really. And a lot of were like, no, give it another chance. Look at it again. You're not seeing it, and you're not really reviewing it. Fair. So, you know, the things I liked about Faserip amongst is the ease and the randomness. And the randomness was sort of taken away. But, you know, I was able to convert an old Faserip character and to G-Core, and it only took like a minute. It's easy to learn. It's apparently kid-friendly. Everything you get is in the book. You only need a 10-sided dice, and there's tons of stuff that's available to go with it online, both for Faserip and for G-Core. So is it really a fair compatible with Faserip? It's not original. It doesn't have any of the Marvel stuff, but yeah, it feels like it is compatible. There's still, I don't know, there's still something missing. Like talents have been changed. The stats have been changed, you know, and that was part of the fun with the, you know, the stats. The random tables are gone. Character generation is moving to a point-based system, which we don't like, but it's mapped out very simple. Character creation can take about 10 to 15 minutes. That seems kind of long, though, for a superhero role-playing game. So G-Core Prime, but apparently people like it because there's a lot of stuff for it. You know, I looked at it again, and I definitely am going to give it a better review than I did before. I still don't know if it's a... There are a couple other Faserip retro clones out there, including a system called Faserip. One called Codename Spandex, though apparently that one has some issues with it. Ascendant and Icons are also very much based upon Faserip Marvel. They feel, you know, especially the Faserip retro clone feels a lot closer to the Marvel I remember. What G-Core took away, of course, is the random tables and the words and the color. I mean, they kept the words and they kept the colors, but they took away, you know, the tables that were part of the whole magic of Faserip Marvel. So, second review. Yeah. Do I feel it's a worthy successor to Faserip Marvel when there were a couple other ones out there? I'm going to give it a better review than I did the first time. I mean, it's definitely close. On second read-through, it's definitely close. I'm still, you know, have some issues with the point-based system, but I think that's just my personal prejudice, and that shouldn't turn you away from G-Core. It's still in print, though. I had a lot of trouble finding any information on G-Core. Even being able to order it was difficult. A lot of people have talked about it and said good things about it, but when you try and find it online, it's almost impossible to find information and to find the system. So I'm not sure what's going on with Dilly Green Bean or Dilly Green Bean. What's the name of the company? Hold on here. I'm calling it wrong. Dilly Green Bean Games. So Dilly Green Bean Games is the company that makes G-Core. Apparently they have some association with TSR. I don't know which TSR that is because there's TSR1, TSR2, and TSR3. G-Core has at least won one Banff Award. I didn't know there was such a thing as a Banff Award, but apparently it's won it. There's freebies available for it. There's a Yahoo group. Wow, really? Yahoo group? It shows you how old some of this information is. It doesn't look like this page has been updated in a long time. It does say that it supports some of the licenses, but I mean, obviously they don't have any official Marvel connection. Wow, a Yahoo group. And apparently there's only one way to order it still, and that's through Amazon, and it's $20 on Amazon. Let's go to Amazon and see what people have said about it. Let's see. So Amazon is running general about 4 stars, 3 to 4 stars here. Some complaints about bad art and the system, and it doesn't really evoke Faserip. It's some others say that a lot of complaints about the art, a lot of complaints about the system, but nothing really major complaints about it. So yeah, the main problem seems to be just finding information on it and being able to order it. And $20 does seem a little pricey. The rules are still pretty simple with the D10. We like that. There's a lot of support for it still. The changes, I guess, make sense, especially since it switched from random to point-based. Part of the fun, though, was the random. I mean, you could still go in and make it random with a little work. You know, you just come up with a D100 table and stuff. I mean, and it uses just one D10 instead of percentile. Yeah, the art is just awful. I don't know. I mean, I can't find anything terrible to say about it, other than it. I hold Faserip Marvel at such a high level of esteem. I suppose if I was really being unbiased, I'm sure there's plenty of things that are wrong with Faserip Marvel, including the randomness and the fact that you can have crappy powers. G-Core definitely gets away with that, since it's now point-based, so the chances of having a really crappy power, like a feeble ice powers or whatever, are definitely less likely. So yeah, I looked at it again as promised. I look at some of the other Faserip retro clones. It is what it is. Is it going to capture the same feel that Faserip did? No. I don't know, but it does come pretty close. If there's any complaints about it now, other than simply, the lack of randomness, and they changed the tables, and some of the magic of Faserip is kind of missing, that they've replaced it with their own little stuff. The systems definitely can be easy, but still 15 minutes to make a character seems kind of hard, especially since one of their claims says that you can convert a Marvel character in 20 seconds. And just finding information on it, and finding the actual game, and finding any support. In fact, the Yahoo group, I mean, that's nothing to be proud of in 2022. Is Yahoo even still around? Anyways, yeah, and the art. So, G-Core, I took a look at it. It's its own thing. I don't know if it should even be comparing itself to Marvel. and saying it's the worthy successor of Marvel. I think it should just say, here is a superhero role-playing game. We were inspired by the stuff in the 80s, but this is what we did, and this is why we did it. And, if you see some similarities between Marvel and our system, it's like saying you see some similarities in every other, OSR game in D2008 D&D. Of course, there's similarities, but it's its own thing. And really, I think what it needs to do is just, improve its art and champion itself instead of trying to live off of the Marvel love. Anyways, what do you think? Let me know if you agree, disagree. Do I need to review it again? There are other superhero role-playing games you want me to review. Do you think I should shut up? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me know. And we will continue our superhero love fest with looking at the V&V one again, and of course Heroes Unlimited and a couple other superhero role-playing games. Everything I have right now is being boxed up because I'm remodeling my room and moving things around to try and be more space efficient, Marie Kondo kind of stuff. But we've got a lot of stuff we can still look at. And I'm just blabbing. So if you appreciate this content, let me know. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Obviously, I'm very tired in the cold medicine. So, yeah, this is probably not my best review. See ya.